Today is Tuesday afternoon and it is time for some ZRL. This will be race number 4 in this series for Tuesday evenings, and it is a scratch race. So it's basically your team gets points for everyone through the finish line depending on what position. So there's no intermediate races going on. So today's course is 3 laps of Innsbruckring. So that means 3 times up leg snapper. Now, I got to DS, which is the director sportif for another Synergy team earlier today. Basically, the pack just stuck together like a big peloton waiting for the finish. So I'm warming up early because I know I have to try to keep in that group and get through the leg snapper 3 times and see if I can get to the finish with everyone else. And it looks like it might be a sprint to the finish if everything plays like it did earlier today, which every race is a different story. And that's what I love about sharing these stories with you, because every race is a different story. So I will warm up. You can see no sweat yet. And yeah, see you at the other side.
All right, here I am winding up for the start. And there is a very short lead in. I think it is just 2 left-hand turns. This is the second turn, and there you can see the start arch, and then the first lap officially starts, and there's 26.5 kilometers to go. So this is actually a pretty short race in comparison to some of the races I've done recently. Now, each time we get through one of these arches, we get a power-up, which could be an arrow, a ghost, or a feather. So this time I got a ghost. I think this is the first time I've ever gotten a ghost. So you can see in the map in the upper right-hand corner that we are just one big blob of cyclists going along. So I've turned on my draft gauge from Sauce for Zwift, and I want to make sure I'm trying to stay in as much draft as I can. I did find I kept getting kicked off to the side, and often that is just your power comparison to everyone else, is my current understanding. And so if you speed up a little bit, you'll then get pushed back into the draft. And I am with 5 other Synergy team members. I'm with Jill, Brandy, Sonia, Jadine, and Alicia, and then myself. So I believe it's around the 5 kilometer mark is where the infamous leg snapper comes, and it is basically a 1 minute, 8% climb. And it's kind of funny, in this 45 minute race, we are all worried about the leg snapper, and yet there is another 20 minutes of racing in a lap, or 15 minutes of racing in a lap. So here I fast forwarded to the 4.3 kilometer mark just before the leg snapper, and you can see we're still one big blob of cyclists that are sticking together. I am not sharing all of the Synergy team tactics. There are some going on, but I figure for these videos I will just focus on my own ride and share that with you, and leave the tactics to the team. However, that said, we were asked to give our hardest 1 minute up this first leg snapper. So let's see how we do. And let's see what happens. It's really fun to rewatch this back and not have my heart rate at 150 beats per minute as it is right now, and about to get much higher. So the beginning of the leg snapper is denoted by the red flashing banner, which is right here, 5 kilometer mark. So you can see people throwing out their feathers and other power-ups. I think I probably throw out my ghost. And you can see the top of my head as I am looking down in the drops doing 360 watts, which works out to about 5 watts per kilogram for me. Trying to get that 1 minute power PR. Yes, there is my invisibility cloak. And what I thought was funny, each time before I became visible again, I turned into an ATP rider for a moment and then went back to Synergy. Thank you, My Pie Bedard is giving me messages in the corner to go, go, go. And the big thing with this leg snapper is to pedal through because it keeps going up 4%. We've passed through it. It still has a little bit of incline, and then you descend. And so you have to be on those pedals as you descend as well. So I did end up getting a PR, and I also got a 1 minute power PR there as well, based on my Breakaway app. So I am not letting up. I'm still in the 250s to 300 watts trying to catch the groups ahead. You can see it has split up. It's no longer in the upper right corner, a single blob, but stretched out, and we are all trying to get to the front. There is Alicia in the same jersey as me who just went by. I'm not sure why they're deploying the feathers right here. I guess there is a little bit of a kick up to, but it seems like an odd place to use the feather. I would wait and use it on the leg snapper, personally. So I'm still pushing pretty hard. I am hoping I can catch that group in front, which looks like they're 3 seconds ahead right now. It looks like Alicia and I are being directed to try to bridge. I'm definitely grimacing right now, trying to push through, even though my watts don't show me trying to push. I am. There's a tight corner here. And then this next straightaway takes us right to the archway. So now I've fast forwarded to 9.5 kilometers, and we are in the second peloton, or the chase peloton. In the upper right, you can see there's 2 groups going, and this is the second group. And we are not going very fast. You can see I'm kicked off to the side again with a draft of 0. But definitely a chance to bring my heart rate down into the 140s as I'm below 200 watts. So fast forward a little bit into still in that group, and you can see me waving over my shoulder. I was actually saying hi to Brad because he just came home from work. And I think he said something and I couldn't hear him because I have my earphones in with my music and the DS. And I look back and this person is making a move and I'm still under 200 watts. So I end up just bridging, even though our plan was that Alicia and I would stay in that group. So I just went for it. And I don't know if I should have or if that was a appropriate thing, but I seem to be practicing bridging a lot in the last 3 races, so I just went for it. I didn't actually think the rest of the group was going to go with me, and Alicia ended up telling me that they're coming. And here I even have time to message everyone that I'm going. And we end up bringing the entire group back up, as you can see what's happening in the upper right corner. You can see I'm still well below my FTP, which is 2:33 to catch the group ahead. I'm definitely used to putting out harder efforts during a race, so I just wanted to bridge to this group. And now I am back into the front peloton and hoping to bring my heart rate back down in time for the leg snapper, which is coming up soon, shortly. You know it's coming when you start getting into the city with the cobbles. But as you can see, often when you try to catch a group, you end up overshooting them, which I did exactly that just there. So I'm wiping off the sweat and sitting up and staying in the group. And it looks like from the upper right corner that everybody is together now. All right, here we're at the 13.7 kilometer mark, back at the leg snapper, just so you can see more of us getting all spread out onto the hill climb. This time I do have a feather. And you know I'm going hard when you see the top of my head in the screen. And my heart rate above 164. It used to go higher, but this seems to be my max these days. I've deployed my feather. And the draft goes to almost 0 here because we are at 8% grade, which is a red percent grade you can see in the upper red corner. But it's interesting to see there still is a little bit of draft. And down the hill, and at that banner, I collected another ghost. I think in total I end up with 3 ghosts. And here I'm just trying to catch as many people as I can. Again, people using feathers on the downhill, that really surprises me. I guess they're using it up before the archway, but why not save the feather for the climb? So here is where the DS advised me to go after that front pack, and it was just so timed that it was over this sprint banner from the start to the finish line. So I think Jill was telling me I won some of fastest through the segment here, and it was literally just because I was trying to catch this group. And so you can see I'm putting out 290, 306 watts, trying to bridge to the group. And there's some confetti because it's my fastest time through, but I was definitely not looking at the banner. I just wanted to catch up with these guys up here. So now I'm back down to 120 watts trying to catch my breath because this is my first time really sitting up since leg snapper. And that's the fun part of doing these races is not only are you racing up the segment and doing the climbs that you would do on it when you're just working out, but you're also pushing yourself farther after, which is just great exercise. So I think somewhere here I just choose to throw away my ghost. Oh, there's someone popped up. They must have been using the ghost. So I wanted to try it out. And I think I end up popping up next to Brandy. I just thought that was funny. Brandy is one of my teammates, and she is the one with the squirrel ears orange hat. We'll see her after I disappear and then come back. There you go. I turn into an ATP rider and then I disappear. And let's catch up to my buddy Brandy. Hello, Brandy. And that is the ghost. All right, let's fast forward to the next leg snapper. All right, now we're at the 22.5 kilometer mark with 4 kilometers to go. And the infamous leg snapper just started, and you can see the top of my head. I am not throwing out the 300 watts I was before. Muscles are starting to hurt. I used my Aero power up back when I tried doing a surge at the front of the peloton, but the peloton never broke up. So I am just, whatever's left in my legs, I am pushing them. Oh, I got a 320. I got a 333, 340. I think all I had left was a 340 unless I have something at the end of this. I'm looking forward to watching these back when I have bigger numbers up there, which I'm planning to keep working on. This one looks like in slow motion compared to the first two. There weren't many surges into the 300s, and now we come down again and it's still that big push. The grimace on my face. I'm trying everything and only putting out 130 watts. However, you can see how good that draft savings is as you pass people coming down this hill. Note to self. Even as you just come by them, goes up to 200. Underneath that number, it says watt savings. So it's kind of fun to watch these back and see how much it's saving me. And I know this is the last lap, 2.9 kilometers to go, and any placement I get will be points for the team, so I just want the best placement I can possibly get. In other words, I want my legs to make me go as fast as I absolutely can. And not to be caught by little groups. So this is the sprint section that I did before. I think I throw out my feather, just hoping to get any help possible. And guess what I get here? Come on, arrow, because it's a flat finish. I want the arrow. Nope, I got a ghost. So one idea I had before is if you look in the upper right corner, there's a tight turn coming up, and the draft decreases through a turn. So my thought was if I made myself invisible with this group of 3 people on my tail using my draft, if I make myself invisible and I super surge, can I lose them? So here I try to make myself invisible. And I'm putting out 310 watts. And I do just enough work to have these 2 cyclists be able to draft me, and now I have a bigger gang of people coming through or coming behind me and using my draft. And I unfortunately am not a sprinter yet, and so I know that I have to put in the big push now because they probably have sprint numbers, very short term, super high numbers, red numbers, and I need to just keep pushing forward right now to keep my position as best as possible because I have climber legs, or I like to think I have climber legs, so I can put out an effort for a longer period of time. So that's what I'm trying to do right now. You can see my heart rate's at 165, so this is all I have left in this moment, and I keep seeing little helmets and heads come through because they are just using my draft. Into the 300 watts, 4.4 watts per kilogram. That's the power up I wanted, the arrow one, and I would have deployed it right there, so nice work. And here are the sprints from the people who are behind me. And this is why I do my weekly sprint workouts, in hopes that I can do that next time. So I ended up in 24th spot with a average watts per kilogram of 3.0. I like that. I like the fitness that brings. And now I will just scroll up. I see Jadine came 18th. Sonia came 17th. There's Jill. She is 8th. And Brandy is 3rd with her big sprint. And that's the event. And I end up not doing a little debrief at the end. You don't get to see how sweaty I am close up. The team stayed on the phone call longer to wait for some results and just chat through this event. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that maybe gave you some ideas of what to do on Innsbruckring and leg snapper. And I can't wait to see you on the next ride. Thanks so much for watching.